So the audio wasn't turned on. Safe to say I would have had a mental breakdown had I recorded this whole episode and figured out after that the audio was not on. Okay, I'm out of breath because that made me nervous. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the What Fills Your Cup podcast. I am your host, Riley Alexander, and today is going to be another solo episode. Yay! Please be excited for it. You might not want to see this solo episode because you might be like, what the hell does she have to say? But you also might be sitting there right now thinking, what the hell does she have to say? So that is what a solo episode will entail. A one-woman show, some might call it. To start off the episode, Riley, what are you drinking today? Since you asked. Because it is the first solo episode, and because it is morning time, I am having myself a lovely cup of tea. What type of tea? I am having English breakfast with a little bit of milk and a little bit of honey, and she is chef's kiss in the morning. Now that I got that out of the way. So yes, today is a solo episode. I am raw dogging this episode. Should I say that? Yeah, why not? I am just going free for all. I know the topic I want to talk about today, but again, I'm not having my cue cards. I promise the cue cards are going to come into play eventually. That's just mainly for when I have guests and to keep me on track so I don't get really distracted when my guests are here. I have the cue cards to make sure I stay in check, in line. So this is the very first episode of the solo series here on the What Fills Your Cup channel. And the whole point of this series is each week that you see a solo episode, or when I do put out a solo episode, it is going to be titled What Fills My Cup. So in each of these episodes, I'm going to be giving you guys some insight on some of the tools that I've been able to use over the past few years and certain things that help me and what works, what doesn't work, and overall letting you guys see a bit more of the vulnerable side of me instead of always just having a guest come on and where I'm asking them. The solo episodes are giving you guys a chance to get to know me. And I'm not going to lie, that's a little bit scary. I will not lie, okay? I feel a bit wary of how much I like to share online. Online is a really scary place. It has a lot of judgment. It has a lot of negativity. And it also gives other people the space to have an opinion on your life. That is a really scary thing. However, as I touched on in the last episode, I am working very hard on making sure that this is an inviting and welcoming space online where negativity is going, sorry, can't see you, because I'll probably remove it. Because I want to make sure that this is a really safe space for the guests, for my audience, and for me as well. I want to be able to create this space that can have open arms and also a space that people feel comfortable to come on or leave a comment and feel not scared to comment something because someone might say something rude. Again, I'm really just trying to make sure that this is a safe space online because it is really scary being online. To kick off the solo episode, I am going to get pretty vulnerable with you guys, and I wanted to talk about support in today's episode. The past few months have been extremely difficult for me, and safe to say, the only thing that has been getting me through this period of time is my support system. Support systems come in so many different ways. For me, I rely heavily on my immediate family. I rely on my mom, my dad, and my sister. I also really rely on my friends. I look at my friends as more than friends. I don't have a lot of friends. I'm also going to just throw that out there. I am very much someone that is quality over quantity, and quality is a very big word for me. I also hold my friends at a very high pedestal and standard. And at the end of the day, the friends I have are friends that I consider forever friends. They have been with me through this period of my life, which has been hands down one of the hardest times of my life. And they have been nothing but supportive and by my side. Support looks different to every single person. In my eyes, support is checking in on your friends. Support to me is them showing up, because when I'm going through a hard time, I go into a little ball and I don't let anyone close to me, and I push everyone away and I just be alone. I am like, you know what? I don't want any support. I want to do this all by myself. And I have learned that no, actually, I can't do it by myself, and to accept the love that people are showing me, because not only do I deserve it, but they are wanting to help me because they genuinely want to. Accepting the help is also something that I have found really, really hard. I at times feel really undeserving, or that I'm being a burden on my friends and my family if I do start to get upset, or if I am not even necessarily complaining, but more just venting, or whatever the case may be. Maybe I am complaining, maybe I am venting, maybe I am sad. Sometimes I sit back and I'm like, am I being a burden? Am I being annoying? When in reality, it's like, no, they're your friends, they're your family. They want to hear what's going on in your life and your feelings and emotions, so that they can also better understand what is going on. Being vulnerable with your support system is not always easy, but I will say it is very rewarding and fulfilling when the other person or people understand you and can also, for their benefit, better understand where you're coming from. Being vulnerable and being open about your feelings or emotions is nothing anyone should ever feel ashamed to do. Another form of support for me, aside from my friends and family, is my therapist. I have been going to my therapist since I was 18 years old, and she is my freaking rock. I actually always call my therapist my fairy godmother, because I swear she was sent from above for me, to help me. She is hands down one of the biggest lights in my life. Every time I see her, I feel happy. Every time I leave her office, I feel seen, heard, and valued. And that is something that I cherish so close to me. That relationship is something I just hold so sacred and so dear to my heart, because I have grown up with her. I'm 25 now and I've been seeing her since I was 18, and Lord knows that she has seen some of the worst times of my life and some of the best times of my life and all the messy in between, and she is still there for me. Yes, I do have to pay her, and yes, it is only for an hour a week, but sometimes you got to pay for your friends. I'm just kidding. You should not have to pay for your friends, okay? I take that back. I take that back. But when it comes to therapy, you do have to pay for therapy. And I do pay to obviously get that help, because I need it, because I need that support. And I have noticed and recognized, especially over the past 2 years, I would say, how much I really do need that support. And that individual in my life to be able to give me constructive feedback, constructive criticism, honesty, and trust. And those are things that I also really value in my friendships and my family. You are people that I need to be able to confide in, and you are people that I really need you to be honest with me. And I'm really, really, really grateful that my support system that I've built has allowed me to be able to trust them, as well as be honest and open. And when I'm struggling, I know I can go to those supports. If you even find one person is truly all you really need, okay? One person that you can be so yourself with, so honest, so truthful with. They will be and would be happy to listen, support, and lift you up in times of need. I think that at times a lot of people, when they are going through a hard time, can feel like they're all alone. And I promise you are not alone. There is so many people that you might not know at this point in time, but there's so many people that love you and genuinely want you here. I think that other forms of support can be through groups, whether you enroll in something that is familiar to you, whether that be sports or some form of art, or signing up for something in your local community that you find intriguing or interesting. Those groups alone allow you to go and meet new people with similar interests already. So you're already checking off a box there. But you're able to form connections and relationships in terms of allowing yourself to be put out there, where you can make a relationship with someone that at the end of the day could flourish into becoming a support for you. I hope that this episode shows you guys that there is various ways of seeking support and finding it. Support is something that everyone needs at the end of the day, and support is something that we all, as human beings, no matter if we want to admit it or not, do need. And whether you can find that in a partner, or whether you can find that in your family or your friends or your coworker, support is always around you. You might not hear it, or you might not feel it or see it in this moment at this exact time, but I promise you, if you were to talk to someone in your circle, in your community, they will support you and love you and care deeply for you. I really just want to make it very clear that you're not alone. And if you are struggling, I promise there are those around you that want to help. Support is also very easy. Sometimes all it takes is a quick message. Hey, just wanted to check in. How are you doing? Check-ins are so freaking important. I cannot express that enough. Check-ins are so important. Check in on your friends because you never know what they're going through, because sometimes they might be like me, where I bottle everything up and I don't like to share things, and all it takes is a, hey, I just wanted to call to check in. How are you doing? Check-ins are very important on your friends, your family, your coworkers, your extended family, your friends of friends that you cross paths with. I don't know who it might be for you, but I just want to make it very clear. Check-ins are so important, and that is a way that you can show your support. I don't really know what else I want to say on this episode, because I feel like I've kind of gone just through like a wave of my brain. I feel really good about this little series, and I hope you guys like it as well. Definitely let me know if you want more solo episodes, or if you have any ideas of solo episodes, or if there's anything you'd like for me to specifically talk about in solo episodes. Like I said, I was just absolutely raw dogging this episode, so I have no idea if my point is even going to get across. that concludes this episode of What Fills Your Cup. I am excited for next week. You guys are going to meet my very first guest. New guest alert, new guest alert. I'm so freaking excited for you guys to meet him. And before I leave, if you haven't heard it today, I love you. And don't forget to tell someone you love them because you never know who needs it a little extra. Bye, you guys.